Hi everybody. I'm on site today installing windows with Piper. She's granddaughter, and she's going to help me install this window, and I'll explain a few things along the way of why we do what we do and how we get it done. So we get to work, Piper? All right, let's cut this window open. Okay. They come really well wrapped, so each of these are cardboard, so you can cut right down there.
Do I cut this?
You can cut really deep, so put a little pressure right there.
Oh, wow.
And just go straight down. Yep, all the way down. Perfect. And with that, we can unwrap this. See, they wrap that cardboard around there to protect this fin. This fin is for new construction, and I'll show you why that is in just a second.
Wow.
We'll take this side off. And so this fin is made so that the window will fit around and it'll sit inside here, and we'll nail through this fin to hold the window in. That's new construction. A retro window, like when I replaced that window up there, it didn't come with fins. You have to install those just a little bit different. We'll explain this. It comes on this corrugated box here to protect that fin in shipping so that it doesn't get chipped or damaged. So we'll let that sit right there while we do a couple more prep things. All right, so before we set our window, we have to flash it. And this flashing, and I'm gonna have you hold this about right there. Just put your finger on that, just hold it tight.
Why do we have to flash it?
So any moisture that gets behind the siding that would come down doesn't go in the building or doesn't get on the wood material and cause it to rot. So that's why we got this house barrier on here. So I got this somewhat marked right here. We'll just flip it over here. You got that knife?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. We'll just cut this. Okay, set the knife over there. So this is really sticky. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it up here like this. We're gonna put about half it above the window. And we'll level it out and we'll stick this. And then I'll cut and fold this down in. So we'll do that part. I'll have you hold this corner again. This is really sticky. You might not have to hold it hardly at all. So there's about half, about right there. And I come over this way. Drop that down. We get that to stick right there. We just take your hands. You're supposed to roll this. I don't have my roller with me today. Apply lots of pressure where the wood is. Run the air bubbles out, kind of like putting the screen protector on your phone. Got to rub the air bubbles out. Get it to stick to that house wrap. Okay, and then from there, I'll let you take the knife.
Thank you.
All right, you're just gonna cut straight down right here to about right there. So just put your knife up there. Yep, just gently. Yep, kind of pull it back and forth. It's got a little goop on it. And that's good right there. And I'm gonna take it, fold that inside, and get that to stick there. And come do the same thing over here. You're just gonna cut right down against the window. Perfect. Start right there. And then we're gonna fold that in. So as part of the Y, right? So any water that comes down this will hit this and roll off. Any that comes down here will hit this and roll out the front.
So it's like a waterproof thing?
It's a water thing, yep. And an air thing.
Oh, wow.
So it helps seal up a lot of this. You'll see, we're gonna double wrap it, but we're gonna do it in layers. So the weak point is now right here. See this? We cut that there. There's a hole right there. So we have this product, it's like a flex seal tape. Oh, take your knife and cut. Just cut right there.
Do I just
start right over here?
Okay.
Cut toward, kind of push down and then cut toward.
Do I just do this?
Just like that, perfect. Try it again, one more time. A little harder. Yep, just push down. There we go, perfect. So this tape is flexible. We take the back of this off. See, it's stretchy.
Wow.
So we'll lay it down here like this and bend it into the corner, push it up tight like that.
Why do we put this one there?
See, remember this hole right here?
Yeah.
So now we're layering this, so if any water comes down, it goes over the top of this because this seals tight. Water can't penetrate that. And then we pull it out like this and flatten it out. And that's how we get that tape around that corner right there to protect it. So any water that comes down now will drip onto that and then run this way and not back into the building. Okay, so we just got to do that one more time on this other corner. Cut one more short piece, kind of push hard. Oh, one more time. Oh, that was perfect. Okay. You can just kind of stretch that out a little bit. Slide into that corner. Pull it out straight like that. Rub it, get it to stick really good, and then we just pull this down. Flare that out, and now that covers that seam there, right? Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I've got to go up here on the ladder, and part of this flashing and prepping before the window goes in. Oh, you got my knife? Thank you. Is up here where I've cut this flat. I'm now going to cut it on a diagonal like this, and a diagonal over here. And then I'm going to roll this up. Use a little nail to tack it up here out of the way. Because here what we're going to do, we're almost ready to put the window in. I'm going to take this silicone. We're going to put a bead around the edge all the way around the window. That way when we put the window in, that nail flange will push up against this silicone, and then we'll nail it in place, and that makes all around the window watertight, so that any water that gets behind the flange can't make its way in on the material. So we'll do another bead here. And we want to keep that within about a ½ inch of the edge of the window so it doesn't stick out past the flange. And you'll see that here in a second. You definitely don't want to get too little. Never, I guess there always could be too much. So do you want to run this caulk bead on this one? This will prep you for decorating cakes one day. So all you're going to do is we're just going to hold it like this. And you're just going to squeeze. And as you squeeze, you're going to run the caulk tube this way. Go for it. And just hold it right there. I'll help you run it. You just squeeze. You have to squeeze kind of hard, huh? And you got it? Want to try it on your own?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that. Nice and steady. It's kind of hard to squeeze, isn't it?
Yeah.
That makes you a nice, strong hand.
It's a hand workout.
Yes, it is. This is going to be awesome. You can tell your grandpa that you installed this window for him. It'll be his favorite window. Yeah, and then just turn that up and put some going up this way. Perfect. Nice job, Piper. Okay.
It's heavy.
All right, so we're now ready to install the window. Now, prior to installing this, well, I made a mark and then I covered it up. So I'll show you another little, it's kind of like a cheat code. You know when you're playing video games and you learn those cheat codes to skip around worlds?
Yeah.
Well, this is a cheat code. So this window is framed at 36 by 48, so 3 foot by 4 foot. The window comes a 1/2 inch smaller all the way around. Well, actually, it's about 5/16 smaller all the way around. So it's less than 36 and less than 4. We want it center of the window. So to find center of the window, we can do a couple things. Just be careful of that flange. I can set this here. I can measure from this outside flange on the back to where the window frame is, and that's 37 and 5/16. So I can go, without getting this in the caulk, I can go 37 and 5/16, which is right there. That's if it was tight that way. I know I have about 1/4 of an inch if I pushed it the other way, or 5/16. So right in the center is where we want this flange to be. And that'll make it so that this has the same reveal on the inside. So with that, oh, look at that. I already got into the silicone right there. Where did I get it so I can put it back? I think it's right there. Okay. So I'm just going to lift this up and set the bottom in. Okay. And then over here, I'm going to find my mark. And there's that mark right there. And this is the next thing, is Piper, will you grab me the level, the 4-foot level right there? First thing we want to check is that it's sitting level on the bottom. And that's so, if you come look at this level, this bubble, it needs to be right perfect between those lines. What does it look like? Well, it's between the lines, but we need to go up on this just ever so slightly. So I've got it right there. Hold that in place. This is where, as a framer, I wish we had a tail, that third hand. So we tack that in place. I'm just going to double check that it stayed where I want it to stay. See how that bubble is perfectly level between there? Mm-hmm. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just check. We ignore that top level, that's for an angle. But here on the bottom, see there's another level. Bubble. Is the bubble perfectly between the lines? It's touching a little bit, but I can move this slightly. We'll do that, but then will you do me a favor, Piper? Will you run around on the inside and undo the levers on the window so it opens? Look at that. Does it feel like it catches? Does it open and close nicely? So just look at that. Now lift it up just a little bit so that the bottom of the window is just above that casing. So pull it down just slowly. Keep going. Keep going a little faster. Keep going. Okay, right there. Now as you look across that gap, does it look about the same all the way across?
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. It looks really good. So you can put your window in perfectly plumb around here, but the window itself may come in a little bit out square. So it's better to like set it into that, but then always do that, because when you're inside and you've got the window open or you're moving it, you'll see those things. You can also see it right here. This looks parallel. It's kind of the same as this. That's always just a kind of another little trick of the trade. Okay, so now that's set. we can put it on pause. I'm gonna nail all these, so it'll take a little bit. We'll tape these seams. So we'll tape the sides so that it overlaps the bottom. We won't tape over this because we've already sealed that. We'll tape this, and then we'll tape the top. We'll fold that top piece over the tape and then tape those seams, and we'll be done. So come on out, Piper. Okay, so that's it. You helped me install the last, well, it's not the last window, the last window on the ground level for your grandpa's shop. So thank you for your help. Hopefully that explanation was good enough for everyone. You enjoyed that a little bit. But what do we need to tell them to always do?
Be stronger every day and do hard things.
You can do hard things. And one other thing is everything is figure outable. Fist bump. Nice.